So, you want to be a real estate investor, but where do you start? How do you know what information and sources to trust? That's where I come in. I'm Jonny Cattani, and this is the Investor Relations Real Estate Podcast. Hey guys, real quick, before we start, go to investwithcattani.com and download my free ebook, Is Commercial Real Estate Recession Proof? Now to today's show. What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of Friday Follow-Up here on the Investor Relations Podcast. I am your gracious host, Jonny Cattani. Welcome. Happy Friday, TGIF. We're all grateful that it's Friday. Hopefully you have big plans for the weekend. It is springtime in Utah, so you never know if it's going to be 75 and sunny or 35 and snowing, but we love it. Just got a little bit of snow in the mountains the other night. It's been raining for the last couple days, but you know what? We need it. We're going to be in a drought, so we need it. But I'm not here to talk about the weather, although, that is a sure sign that you're becoming an adult is when you have legitimate intellectual conversations about weather and weather patterns. Anyway, all right. Today, it's going to be a quick episode. I really just want to talk about mindset and taking action. Listen, I'm new, right? I just started Cattani Capital Group in January, working on our first deal, as some of you know, working on a ground up development self-storage deal here in Utah, which I'm very excited about. In fact, I actually went and visited the property the other day and took a bunch of videos and posted it on my LinkedIn. So go to my LinkedIn. That's about the only place I go by my full name, Jonathan Cattani. I actually need to change that. It might make it easier. Anyway, find me on LinkedIn, follow me, connect with me, please reach out. I love hearing from all of you. We are a little over 160 downloads, I believe, last time I checked. So thank you to everyone who has downloaded it. It's been an awesome journey so far, but that kind of leads into what I want to talk about. I want to talk about, I just started Cattani Capital Group. Obviously, the podcast just launched. What are we? Almost 4 weeks in now. And, that was probably about 3 months in the making before we even launched, right? Had to basically recorded close to 60 episodes before we even launched. So, that was a lot of work. And one thing that, I struggled with along the way, I know a lot of entrepreneurs and, potential entrepreneurs struggle with is mindset, and more specifically, I just blanked. Sorry, I haven't had my coffee yet. It's early in the morning. Imposter syndrome. Hey, there it is. Look at that. We can think. Cool. Yes. Struggle with a lot of entrepreneurs, potential entrepreneurs, and those who are even well established struggle with imposter syndrome, and it is tough for sure. Don't get me wrong, because you feel like you don't belong, or you don't deserve it, or whatever it may be that is weighing on you and making you feel inadequate. You need to understand that we are all given very, very powerful gifts. I know there's a lot of people, you think of Tony Robbins, Gary Vee, a lot of people talk about just how grateful it is that we were born, let's just say in America, right? The odds of being born in America are so low that, we really, really have been given an incredible gift, and we all have access to the same things, more or less. So you really just need to understand that you do deserve it. We all deserve it. We all deserve to reach our full potential. So don't be afraid to go and ask for help. Find someone who's doing better than you and ask what they're doing. Ask if you can help them in any way, or, see how you can add value so that they can in return provide some value to you. You know, don't be afraid to go to therapy, look into life coaching, all these different things that can help you grow as a person and ultimately help your mindset so that you can reach your full potential. And by doing so, what ends up happening is you realize that sure, you might not know very much. I mean, heck, the more people I interview on this podcast, the more I realize I don't know. But I'm doing it. I pressed play. I started recording, and here we are now. I've almost recorded 100 episodes, you guys. 96. I counted 96 episodes I've recorded, and I still don't know anything, to be honest with you. Now, don't get me wrong. I've certainly learned a lot compared to when I started. In fact, I should actually write a blog about this. The knowledge from my first episode to my 96 is exponentially more, of course, but there's still so many nuances to the business that I don't know. You know, I had a really, really incredible interview this week. All of my guests were amazing, but I had Joe Cornwell on. Joe is he owns a Realty One Stop in Cincinnati, and he's got about 50 doors to his name. He's looking to scale, but he's fully vertically integrated. He's got a construction and property management. And last year he was a cop. I mean, he started investing 5 years ago, but up until last year he was a full-time cop, full-time police officer in Cincinnati. But what happened is he saw, and he'll tell the story, but essentially the long story short is that he saw police officers who were retiring during his time, and they were miserable. They'd been there 20, 30, 40 years. They weren't really going to live happy, healthy lives, and he didn't want that for himself. So he made a change. And I know a lot of people are reaching that point in our lives where, I know I got to that age where I was just, I kind of always knew I would do my own thing, and because I just was a terrible employee, you guys. I mean, just absolutely terrible. I've been fired, I think, a couple times, laid off, constantly late to stuff, just terrible employee. Now I take a lot of pride in my business, has my name attached to it. Anyway, the point of the story with Joe was that he had no idea what he was doing when he started out. None, right? And now he's got this business. He has 6 full-time employees plus an assistant. And it just goes to show you that all you have to do is take action, right? You can figure it out along the way. You can read every book, listen to every podcast, take every guru seminar you want, but until you take action, nothing's going to happen, right? And I promise you, you're not going to be able to learn everything anyway before you even start. So you may as well just start. There's a saying that I love, and if you've been listening to the show, you've heard me say it probably 100 times at this point, maybe 96 to be exact. But it's very powerful, and it says you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. And it's so powerful because I sat on the sidelines for so long because I just didn't feel like I was ready or I deserved it, or, and now, a lot of my journal entries, I'll end my journal entry with, why not me, right? Why not me? There's no reason. There's no reason I can't reach my full potential. Only I'm holding myself back. Listen, there's going to be doubters and haters, and there are people telling me I shouldn't do this, and, oh, real estate's sketchy, and, oh, like the housing market, interest rates are going up, a recession's coming, you shouldn't get into it, blah, blah, blah. Listen, people are going to doubt you and tell you can't do it and tell you shouldn't do it forever, right? Even if I reach all my goals and in 10 years I'm worth $100 million, there's still going to be someone who's going to tell me I'm not doing it right, or I got lucky, or whatever it is. And listen, I've been blessed, and certainly some luck is involved. I'm not going to pretend like luck is not involved, right? But luck only happens when you're, you know, taking advantage of opportunities. And so this whole thing is to say that all you need to do is love yourself and accept that you can do it and you are good enough, and just start. If you fall flat on your face, so what? At least you tried it. Listen, people are going to laugh at you regardless. So you may as well fall flat on your face and at least get to stand up and say, hey, at least I tried. Right. And that's what I'm doing, you know? And listen, I've recorded now almost 100 episodes. No one can take that away from me. Right. And that's allowed me, honestly, people are reaching out and asking about starting podcasts, and I'm able to give back. Just in, what has it been, 3 months since I really started recording podcast episodes. And now, by no means am I an expert, but I can certainly give some pointers and some tips and tricks on some best practices, you know, for starting out and production and different things like that. So all you have to do is start, take action, take a small action, right? I know a lot of you have read Atomic Habits. I love that book. Tiny little action, one step in the right direction, right? You know what? If you're thinking of starting a podcast, your goal today should be to come up with a title for your podcast. And, you know, I'm going to challenge you. Come up with a title for your podcast and buy your podcast equipment. Buy your camera and your microphone. Camera and microphone, if you just get like a USB mic and a USB webcam, cost you $150 for both. That's it. And even if you don't want to do the webcam, if you just want to use your laptop computer, great. Just use the webcam on there. Boom, $190, $100, you'll get a USB microphone. Okay. There you go. There's one step in the right direction right there. Perfect. Okay. Then the next step, once it comes in the mail, open it and set it up. Okay. There's step 2. Step 3, press record, right? Download Zoom. You can use the free version, get on there and just start recording, right? Talk to yourself, look at the camera, get comfortable with just looking at a camera and talking to yourself. That's literally what I'm doing right now. I'm sitting in my office by myself, staring at this camera, talking to you, of course, but ultimately there's no one here, right? There's no real conversation happening. So get used to it. I'm not going to lie. It's hard for sure. It's hard at first to just talk by yourself. You know, you can even make it easier. Get your best friend or your significant other, husband, wife, life partner, whatever it is, and jump on a Zoom call with them, record it, and set up an interview. Ask them questions, be silly, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that you did it. And once you do it, it's going to get a little bit easier. Then the second time, you'll get a little bit more comfortable. And the third time, and the next thing you know, you're at 100 episodes and, you know, you're jumping on, doing a quick, you know, pre-interview chit chat, and boom, you're off and running. You know, the preparation I'm doing now, and certainly I won't lie, when there are, you know, a big name, people coming on my podcast, I'll do definitely a little bit more of a deep dive. You know, if they have a book or something, I'll try to get a hold of it or even read it. You know, a few of my guests, I've read their books or, you know, skimmed through them at least, just so, you know, so I can relate and talk to them. But basically the point is for the most part, I'm not, you know, doing a huge deep dive, because what I've been able to do over the last 96 episodes is, you know, understand the flow of a conversation, understand, you know, how to ask questions to provide the best value for the listeners, and also the best value for me, and, you know, to reach the broadest audience. You know, I know that I have a lot of young entrepreneurs, people just starting out, people who don't know anything about commercial real estate. And so I want to provide that for you, you know, a lot of beginner tips and how-tos. And I also know that I have some well-established people in the industry who listen as well. So for that, you know, I like to have a few deep dive conversations, and we'll go in more depth on important topics, right? But I wasn't able to do that in the beginning. I had to take 20 minutes to prep for every episode, and it was very challenging. And, you know, my prep time's been shortened, and that's part of why I did it daily, because all of those learning curves were flattened, and it's helped a ton, and it's helped tremendously. So my challenge to you is, whatever it is you've been wanting to start it now. All right. One baby step in the right direction. I laid out a 3-step plan for if you want to start a podcast, right? Name the podcast, which that's really fun, right? Just start writing stuff down. Name the podcast and buy your equipment. Step 2, set up your equipment. Step 3, press play. Boom. Right there. There's 3 steps. Go ahead and get started. If you are looking to start a business in anything, right? First 3 steps. First step I would suggest is hiring a coach. That would be step 1. If you can't afford a coach, look online for as many free resources as you can. If you're not hiring a coach, try to find someone who's doing what you're doing and see what you can give them in return for some coaching, mentorship. So my challenge to you is, if it's a business, either find a coach, right? Or some sort of accountability partner. Once you have that accountability partner, I know I talked about it before, exponentially better. So that's my challenge to you. Take action, change your mindset. I promise you guys can do this. If I can do it, you can do it. Also, really excited. We're getting very close to closing on the land for this ground up self-storage deal. I will keep you guys updated on that. Thank you so much for listening today. I hope that I provided some value, and I hope that over the weekend, you guys take this time to heed my challenge and begin working. And please leave a comment. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment, DM me on Instagram, whatever it is. I'll hold you accountable if you need me to hold you accountable. DM me accountable, and we will start talking, and I will be your accountability partner. Okay. Thanks so much for listening, guys. Enjoy your weekend. You're amazing, and be good. Okay. Love you guys. Thanks so much for listening. Have a good one. See ya. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching today's episode. I hope you really enjoyed it. Listen, I know it's cliche and you hear it all the time, but please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you know when the next video is coming out. Even though this is technically a daily podcast, you know it's coming out the next day. We have a ton of content coming your way. So please like and subscribe. It helps a ton. Leave comments. Would love to know what you guys think. And we will see you on the next one. Thanks so much.